Hey YouTube, this is Aegon Games 69 signing on to give you guys a review of InFamous 2. Yes, InFamous 2. And I thought it fitting to have this little cheesy effect of lightning because InFamous deals with lightning. But moving on, it was a pretty cool game. I thought it had a solid storyline, to say the least. It had a pretty good length. It didn't take me really that long. Something like maybe 12 hours or so to beat like the good side, which isn't too bad, you know. I like how you can finally climb over fences. That's always a plus because, you know, that was kind of weird how you couldn't climb over fences. I don't know, but they fixed it, and it's cool. And but I felt like the dodging in that game, like when you push the dodge button, it seemed useless. Like you would still get hit by the attack, even when I dodge out of the way. Boom! I still get hit by like the Devastator. It was one of the enemies. He throws like spits some funky thing at you, or he spits his little tongue thing, tries to grab you. You push the dodge, it homes back in on you. It's like, oh man, it's annoying because it's like I felt like it was a sloppy mechanic that they just did not perfect or refine enough to the point of it being useful. I can understand you want to have an aggressive game, you know, where you be aggressive, but if you should make, even if the person wants to be not as aggressive, you shouldn't like be like, okay, well, we weren't wanting you to be that passive or defensive, so we're not going to put that. No, you should let the player choose what he wants, as long as it's something available. Like you can't just pick up a gun because that's not part of the game. But if it's something he can do, he should be able to do it properly. And when he gets hit, when he dodges, it makes like I really didn't dodge because it was kind of useless. And I just, you know, blew everything up. I mean, that's cool, but if you're gonna have the feature, make it work. But the melee system actually was better than the first one. Like in this game, the melee system I felt was improved upon because, well, they had the amp this time, so you had like a weapon, you know. It was cool because it was all like, it wasn't really like a sword or anything, so you didn't cut people up, you just beat them up. Like I like that when and you felt like you were really like, it really hurt when you hit them because it like made that effect, and like if you hit them enough, then you could do like the special move where you could slide under them and bam. Oh, it's cool, and I like that. Let's see. The story, though, I fell short of what it could be. By that I mean, like, there were certain aspects from the first one that I felt they were going to carry on to the second one, like the whole that concept of time travel, and you know, I felt like that was something cool enough, or at least, I mean, it's not like it's anything new or anything, but I felt like they had their own twist on it. I felt like they were going to give, you know, they were going to apply that in the second game in some respect, more properly, probably with the Beast and everything. And in terms of the Beast, I didn't think he was going to be like a huge thing. I mean, I didn't think he was going to be as big as he was. I thought he was, I guess, going to be basically as big as Cole, but he was going to be all volcanic, nasty, and everything. But he wasn't. He was, you know, John, that guy who like got blown up from the ray sphere, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like within the confines of the story, you know, it's all right because you just take it how it is. But I personally, in my opinion, I was hoping for like, I don't know, some cliffhanger to when like Cole and the Beast were duking it out, and they got in like a energy deadlock, and it caused a you know, time warp, you know, disruption in time, and it would just been insane, and like you could go back in time and alternate realities would be involved and all this other crazy stuff that would have just like escalated the story, because like it would just been like, now Cole's trying to save like the universe almost, or at least the world, and like maintain the balance of, you know, and of equilibrium and everything, all that coolness and like, yeah. So I felt like there was some kind of, I feel like they could have allowed that to make a, so they could have made a third one. It would have, at least if they do make a third one, they're gonna have to really stretch. They're really gonna have to rack their brains on it. And I feel like it might be like Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, how we didn't really think, at least I didn't feel like, oh man, this is totally gonna be a second one because the story permits it so, you know, obviously, you know, it's like you didn't think there was gonna be a second because he dies. When the hero dies like that, you usually don't think there's gonna be another one. You know, like Cole, I'm just gonna say it, Cole dies at the end. If depending on the good side is always the canon side, and the bad side, at least in this game, is the non-canon. So yeah, okay. They didn't set it up or anything. So that's like another thing. Usually, in the second game, if you have a 3-part game, you make a 3-part like series. You have the second one have like a cliffhanger, like in Episode 5 of Star Wars, and then like Halo 2. And then Modern Warfare 2. I mean, it's just, that's a simple, like, you know, in a 3-act play. You know, first act you introduce the characters, second act you put them in a bad situation, and third act they get out of it. That's how it is. And if they think they can just say we don't want to follow simple, you know, story etiquette, then they are. That is dirty pool. I do declare. But I mean, the graphics though were better. Everything looks a lot nicer, a lot more lively. I like the environment they chose, like a New Orleans kind of thing. And I like the faces look a lot better. Faces looked weird in the first one. Now looking back, at least they do, and this one they look better. I don't have a problem with Cole's voice. I felt like almost they changed his voice because that one and this one has a more southern accent, kind of more New Orleans kind of accent, you could almost say, because like, and it's kind of more appropriate, like it's kind of like what the Batman movies did, like had changed the Bruce Wayne. I don't think that had anything to do with it setting a different environment, but just one of those things, you know. The character still remains, but I think they wanted to have a more southern, you know, Savannah kind of accent, not like that, but have a different, more appropriate voice. Because the Cole from InFamous 1 kind of had a more, you know, New York, you know, feel to it, the gruff, you know, feel. But anyways, like, what else? I mean, the game was fun enough as it is, but I also, like, I don't like how your basic, like, everything uses energy, like, every little move you do, like, well, not like the melee and everything, but, like, their basic bolt, you know, your basic, you know, move that you can, like, you know, button mash, that takes up energy, you know, and it's like, in the first one, you could do your basic bolt, and it wouldn't take up energy. In this one, it does. I'm like, and it often sometimes leads to you basically being at times after you like unleash like an insane, you know, combo with your rocket power, and then you're left with no energy, and oh, now you can't, you know, shoot your lightning bolts, and your guys, you know, are attacking you, and you're left in a vulnerable spot, and it's just like, you shouldn't be in that situation. It's stupid. But these some of the concerns that I have are more of it on a, you know, nitpicking, you could almost say, but I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same. If you do, let me know. Yeah. But other than that, I think it's a game worth getting, especially if you got the first one and you liked it. You'll like this one. I liked it enough. These were just kind of things on a more in-depth concern. You know, it doesn't really totally take away from it, but I just, the way I think, in the way I think it deters from perhaps what I was hoping. So, yeah. Never got to do the multiplayer beta. Don't care. Not doing Uncharted 3. That's a whole nother story altogether. But I will. See you guys later. So, this is Aegon Games signing off.